Hey everybody, this is the man on fire, John Sablan, 1/3 of PPK, and this is my installment of PPK Perspectives, and it's really like a two-part series, if you will. This first one's going to be aimed at the men out there. Next week I'll be talking to the women out there, and as Miko stated, this is just really an opportunity to get some content out there that's not as heavy, not as long as our PPK episodes, but really something that may be on our hearts, maybe on our minds, that we just want to share, and hopefully y'all get something from it. So this first installment for me is about 3 tips for men when it comes to dating. Now, as we all strive to grow in holiness and we all strive to grow in virtue, some of the struggles we may have is, how do we approach women? How do I approach the topic of dating without taking away from my ability to grow in virtue? And specifically, how do I uphold her dignity and respect I should have for her and still ask her out on a date, right? So the first tip is just be confident, right? That what ends up happening is we swing the pendulum the other way and we get like super awkward and we don't know how to talk to them. So it's like, be confident. You can still be confident. You can still be assertive. And there's a difference between being assertive and being aggressive, meaning put yourself out there, right? Grow in humility. Maybe you get turned down. Maybe you get rejected. So what? That's an opportunity, a vehicle for humility. So be confident. Go up to the gal and just, with the most respect, say, hey, so-and-so, I've been noticing I've come to this coffee shop a lot, and I really wanted to see if you wanted to maybe have a cup of coffee with me. Just sit down and get to know each other. Or, hey, you know what, I see you at this Bible study, or I see you at Mass, or I see you at the library, whatever context you have encountered this person, and just say, hey, I'd really like to get to know you better, and was wondering if you'd go out on a date with me, if you will. So be confident, but still be respectful. The second tip, so the first one's be confident. The second tip is realize that if this woman is not your wife, she may be somebody else's, right? So that means we do have to uphold their dignity and respect them as temples of the Holy Spirit, not as tools for our objectification or our use. So that's a really key thing, is that, guys, we were attacked in a different way. We're very much attacked at the fleshful level. We've been emasculated as men when it comes to the culture. We've been told to, love things and use people rather than love people and use things, as I think Venerable Archbishop Fulton Sheen has said before. So it's really about upholding that woman's dignity and respect as a child of God in all of our encounters. And if she's not your wife or soon to be your wife, again, we're just talking about dating, she may be somebody's wife or God's spouse someday, right? If she's a consecrated single religious sister. So remember that your encounter with her should edify her and make her better, should help her grow in holiness. Really, in all of our walks of life, regardless of whether it's dating or not, when we encounter somebody, they should be either better or worse from us. There's no middle ground. Either we brought them closer to Christ and closer to Holy Mother Church, or we brought them further away. So remember that. So first is be confident. Second is remember that to uphold their dignity and respect as a child of God. If they're not going to be your wife, they will be somebody else's, including God. So keep that in mind. And the last thing I would say is, rather than worry about finding the right woman, worry about becoming the right man. And that's a key thing when it comes to dating. Is so often we're seeking, we're searching. Of course, it's difficult to be alone, and maybe you feel super called to the vocation of marriage and holy matrimony. So you want to find your beloved spouse, right? And so it's very, it can consume a lot of our time. I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier for us men to find a good woman than it is for women to find a good man. So that being said, worry about being the great man that's worthy of marriage, that's worthy of entering into a sacrament, that's worthy of dating, right? So if you focus on those, if you can just work on your confidence and not be super awkward and lose all sense of ability to communicate with human beings, if you work on being confident, if you work on ensuring that you are upholding that person's dignity, but definitely women, but anybody that you encounter. And third, worry about just being the right man. Focus on your virtues. What virtues are you attacking today? Every single day. If you're struggling with a certain vice, what virtue are you working on in order to combat that vice? So that's my 3 tips for the men this week on PPK Perspectives. And the next week, I'll come at the women with 3 tips for dating for them. So thank you for joining me. Hope that you start enjoying the PPK Perspectives. I hope you're enjoying PPK as a whole. We've been getting some feedback from people, so we're blessed to be able to share this walk and journey with you. So, let us know what you want to hear about. So until then, get holy or die trying. Peace.